Car dealers scam people every single day, and here's a great example of it. 2026 Kia Carnival Hybrid for sale. The online advertised price, $42,737. The actual amount financed, almost $52,000. And that's because the dealers add on all sorts of fees and unwanted products. Dad, we're going to go through examples here of this dealership scam caught on camera. Break down what you're seeing here on this out the door price quote.
Well, what I'm seeing is that it looks as if, oh my God, there's a cheap selling price, there's a rebate. And I'm guessing we're in California because it's an $85 dock fee. And well, California caps the dock fee at $85. All that is wonderful. What isn't wonderful is when a dealership adds something called Vanguard for $1,695 or Seal-A-Jet for $1,295, a paint and interior protection product, or 3M clear protection for probably door edges and door handle cups, and wheel locks for $495. Those must be the diamond encrusted wheel locks for $495. Those are all things that were not listed on the dealer's website when we saw the original price of $42,737. These are the types of practices that we see at many, many dealers throughout the country that, well, just make it hard for the good dealers out there to try and ply their craft in an honest and transparent manner.
It's not just new cars, used cars. Here's another example. 2015 Lexus RX 350 for sale at a Kia dealership. They've got the MSRP/retail price of $11,998. Look at all these line items in this out the door quote. The total amount financed ends up being $21,840. And in the prior example, almost half of what changed the price was sales tax. Well, in this case, the sales tax is less than $1,000. Look at all of these add-ons that this dealership is adding. And again, Dad, the point here is that these dealerships advertise one price online, get you to come into the dealership, or obviously call the dealership, text the dealership, email the dealership to get an out-the-door price, and they change the numbers completely. You have a $225 dock fee, a $795 charge for window tint, $795 for permaplate, $695 for low jack, an ESC, which is an extended service contract, like an extended warranty, for $3,995. And did you want lifetime oil changes? Well, that's going to cost you $1,295. And then guaranteed asset protection insurance, gap insurance, for $995. This is highway robbery here, Dad. If an unsuspecting customer just says, okay, sure, I'll take all those things, you have to know, you have to watch out for this scam if you're buying a new or used car.
What year used car was this?
2015.
2015. So we're gonna permaplate it to protect the paint on the vehicle so that it stays like factory fresh, brand new on a 10-year-old car. I can't think of anything more wasteful or more ridiculous other than perhaps adding $800 worth of window tint to a 10-year. I mean, all of this stuff. These are just additional examples of what is wrong with many, many dealerships in America today. The concept of dealing openly and transparently is something that is just so foreign to so many of these dealers that they feel compelled to have to advertise a much lower price than what they actually intend to sell it for. And then they add all of these extras that you didn't ask for to get to a selling price that's acceptable to them. And it's just, I can't think of any other way to say this than it's just wrong. It's not an appropriate way to approach your business if you're approaching it that, well, we need to be deceptive in order to sell you a car.
Now, you may be thinking, this happens few and far between. Here are 3 examples in a row that are identical in terms of structure and an absurd price point. Now, here's what I mean. This is at a Mercedes-Benz dealership that a customer looking to buy a 2022 Toyota Tundra, so a used vehicle. The pattern that you are going to see in the next 3, this one and the next 2 options that I've queued up here, is that the dealership advertises a really aggressive price online and then adds over $14,000 in accessories. Yes, three in a row of accessories with no description of what they are, and it being more than $14,000. So you can see here on this Tundra, Dad, this is a used Tundra. You've got $14,320. Now it does have a line item broken out above. It says the service agreement, things like that. But just showing here in the actual price sheet, accessories, $14,320. This is on a new Chevy Colorado, Dad. You've got $6,500 in savings, and then look at that again. $14,389 in accessories. And again, you might be saying, oh, these are just anomalies. Here's a Honda Prelude that also has a $10,000 discount and then $14,995 in accessories. That's just three examples in a row, same dollar amount, $14,000 in accessories, and all of them with crazy, crazy, crazy discounts on the front end to get you in the door. That's absurd. That is absurd that I can just get queued up three in a row accessories for the same amount, $14,000 plus. That's nuts.
Not only is it nuts, as a radio host said to me when I was on his show recently, he said, "Well, that type of stuff that should be illegal." And my response to him was, "It is illegal. It's just there's no enforcement from the Consumer Affairs Division of each state's Attorney General's office." We know that in many cases, the Attorney General's office for enforcement of consumer affairs issues like this are woefully understaffed and woefully underbudgeted. So even if the Attorney General's office wanted to step in and do something about it, typically they don't have the money nor the manpower to be able to do it. And I know of a case that's pending where a trial is scheduled for sometime in November for a case that was originally started in 2017. So when you look at these things and you realize that it takes so long to bring any enforcement action, it is no wonder that dealerships are brazen enough to just violate the statutes of the states in which they operate, because they know the likelihood of getting caught is pretty low, and the likelihood of any type of enforcement action is even lower. So you're basically encouraging bad behavior because you just don't have the manpower to do anything about it.
It's not just a consumer problem. Here's an X post from Andy Wright. Andy's a dealer in Pennsylvania. Auto dealer friends, please share if you agree. I just had another meeting with a rep from one of the major third-party classified listing companies where I was informed about a rather substantial increase in our monthly fees for their, quote, services. Of course, the rep was following process and trying to substantiate the increase due to all these, quote, enhancements that were supposedly adding value for me as a dealer. It was at this moment that I inquired about what this major third-party classified listing company was doing to police their platform for dealers engaging in deceptive pricing practices. The answer, in short, nothing. So I'm now being charged more money to be on a platform where my cars are competing against cars at dealerships that are priced deceptively low. Quote, if you don't finance, the price is $2,000 higher. If you don't have a trade, the price is $2,000 higher. All of the major classified listing platforms, Cars Commerce, Auto Trader, Car Gurus, Carfax, etc., know that this is going on, and they are doing absolutely nothing to stop it. In fact, they are rewarding this behavior by affixing great deal badges on cars with deceptively low pricing. This needs to stop, and I'm again calling on the leadership of these companies to take meaningful public action. So, Dad, it is not just a consumer problem, it's a dealer problem, and I agree. These existing third-party marketplaces don't solve it. Obviously, back at CarEdge.com, part of the reason why we are collecting, we've now got over 35,000 out-the-door price quotes that we've been able to get through our community, through our AI agent, through our concierge business. Obviously, at some point this year, we're going to bring that out to the public, and we're going to expose all this information so that people can make smart shopping decisions. But holy cow, man, the bait and switch, all these practices, it just ruins it for everyone involved.
Yeah, it is. I hate to say it, but the auto industry today still seems to be the king of scams, and the public still seems to be falling for them. And it's quite unfortunate. And we will do everything in our power to keep naming names and calling for changes that would be actually beneficial to both the dealerships and the customers out there. But it's just going to take time.